Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill. How's it going?
Not too bad, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. Overslept this morning, but besides that, I'm good.
I I'm still doing the onboarding for the Pavlok thing. All the thing I want you to do, like set up your morning routine and your evening routine. And I've been using this other kind of cool sleeping tracking app that also has an alarm in it, and it tries to wake you up at the lightest point in your sleep cycle within 30 minutes, before your alarm clock. I've been using that for a while, and then I decided, let's try to use the Pavlok thing because I bought and paid for that, and it makes sense. And I was so nervous about the move. Like I set the old one, and then I set the new Pavlok one for later, and then was like just laying in bed at like 6:15 this morning, like, I wonder how that's going to work. I wonder if it's really going to zap me or not. And so I finally got out of bed, like between the two alarms, because I didn't have enough trust in the new one, and the old one it was kind of like, well, I snooze, but did I snooze or did I turn it off? And so I just got up. So change is hard.
Yeah. Long story short, change is hard.
Change is difficult. We get these routines and these things, and we the comfort that they bring once you have trust in the systems is significant. So when you change them, and there's pressure because like I don't want to oversleep and miss this, it kind of adds up and shows up in unique, interesting ways.
For sure. Absolutely. How's the day yesterday?
Um, and we got to talk about this because I had a call yesterday that I almost canceled and decided to take because I had forgotten completely all about it. It was on my small mountain calendar and not my adaptive growth calendar, and most of my work stuff is on adaptive growth. And so I was like, who is this person? Because I could see it and it's like in a different color and it's really sticking out. And I was like, I'm just going to cancel this thing. And I was like, no, I don't remember what this is. I might as well take it. And then lo and behold, it's a guy who's part of like an investment business flippers group that's got 4 or 5 projects that he would like my help on immediately, and knows lots of people who also need my help eventually and stuff like that. So I finished that call, and I had to reach out to the person who made the introduction because I had forgotten all about it. So I reached out to this guy named John, who's a really good copywriter, and thanked him for the introduction, which is important because I wouldn't know this guy if it wasn't for John. So if you get an introduction, go back and tell the person how it went, so that way they get at least the mental stroke of knowing that you followed up and did the introduction. Can't tell you how many introductions I have made to people, and then later on they come back and like, hey, I thought you were going to introduce me to Ben. Dude, I did via email. Go check your email, you know. And so I always try to follow up when you get a referral from like anybody. Oh, hey man, thanks for putting me in touch with this person. We had a good conversation. It ultimately wasn't a fit, but I appreciate it a lot anyway. How can I help you? Give back to your network, man. So I reached out to John and was like, thank you so much. Is there anything I can do for you? And he was like, not right now, but I'm glad the introduction was well. So this could potentially be like a pretty big deal. So I'm trying to like set back and detach and not get my hopes and dreams wrapped up in it and stuff like this, because anything could happen, right? One conversation doesn't actually indicate anything. So that was kind of my big thing from yesterday. We had office hours, which was fine, and then I I did a live CRM build I think 2 weeks ago. I think I talked about it on here, and then we missed our kind of first weekly check-in. So I was kind of thinking, okay, like this guy's not going to use this tool, and it's going to be some churn, and like that's going to be okay. But as much as I enjoy making money off of these CRM builds, I just enjoy the benefit of seeing salespeople not fall prey to the stuff that salespeople fall prey to. So we hop on the call, and I said, well, how's it going? He's like, man, it's doing everything I want it to. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, I love this thing. And I said, okay, why? And he proceeded to me all the things that he liked. I was like, well, okay, what are you struggling with? And he's like, nothing. I'm in here every day. And I was like, you're the only one. Congratulations for being like the only person
So nice to meet
who,
you.
well,
You're the first
and
person.
I'm thinking about it because I think about this person's personality, right? And they're a D-type personality, which is normally not a lot of patience for this kind of thing. All right, screw it. I'll go back to doing it my way. And if they don't like it, they'll like the results because I'm going to win. The only thing I can think is the difference is that I did it live with him and showed him how I was building the stuff out. And so he was getting a much better glimpse of how, I guess, pliable the platform is, like how hard it is to break. Because, like I'm clicking around, he's watching me do everything. And obviously it's a very small sample size, but if this guy after 2 weeks has already got some good habits around using it every day and isn't scared to use it and, all these things, it's like maybe that's the better way to do this. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think I've told you before about that as well. That I'm a D, and I like people to show me the right way to do things. And those videos are fine as long as they're really simple. But if you start getting complex in any way, if there's trees, there's points where you veer off multiple spots, and you have to come back and find your way for a different thing. It just don't have the patience for it on video. Whereas I can just ask a question real quick of a live person and go, okay, we did this here. What do these other two things do? Oh, it does this and this. Okay.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it is good. Because a lot of that video stuff's really good. I'm glad we've gotten as far as we have on training from a video standpoint. But some things just better to have a real person.
I mean, for sure. I think, I built, I don't know, over 50 CRMs at this point. And I've never had somebody on the second week call say like, yeah, man, I'm in there. And they feel comfortable. I mean, yeah, I could have found an outlier. Yeah, for sure. This guy has had a lot of sales like training and coaching from my coach and gets it, is an outside rep. He's commission only. So he's functioning essentially as an owner. So, there are other things that play into this, but I was just blown. Like we had like a 15-minute call and I was like, okay, well, I'm happy to give you the other 45 back if you'd like it. He's like, yeah, man, I'm going to take a nap. I was like, all right, cool. I said, how do you feel? And he goes, man, it's nice to know that everything is caught up and I don't have to spend 30 minutes confirming that idea. I just look at one tool. Yeah. I was like, all right, man, you get the shirt. So you get the shirt and let's find you a stage to go stand on, man.
Right. Exactly.
How was your day yesterday, Bill?
It was good. It was good. It was, let's see, I got all the major stuff I had to get done. Gosh, it's going smooth right now, so I don't have a lot to report. I didn't have a massively cool call either like you, so it feels a little less cool than your day. But no, I got my stuff done, so it's good. It's a check mark.
Okay. And you have school today?
I do. I've got school today.
I had this idea last night that I've been, I think, noodling on for like 2 weeks. Can I run it past you real quick on here? And bear in mind that this is like half formed. I think I'm onto something here, but I'm not really sure. Sure. Let me just see if I can draw this out real quick. Okay, so most sales training is based around like it's for people who are already in sales, right? Which are D's and I's, right? So I'm going to put them on this side of the screen over here, and then here's our crossbar. Mm-hmm. So we have our D's and our I's, right? And these people are great historically at sales because they are personable, they get along with everybody, that I shines out, and people want to be around you, you're smooth, you're influential, all these things. The D shows up in a way because you can cut bait, you can run, you're not going to invest too much time, you're not so people-driven that it's going to take you so far off the path. All right, so all the sales training I have done and been through is an effort to rein the natural tendencies of those kinds of people back in just a little bit, right? Hey, clearly communicate, set expectations, get permission, make sure they feel okay, all of these things, because these people are just big attitudes in any room normally, right? So when you look at the people on the other side of the spectrum, right, we have our D's and our I's on this side, we have our crossbar, and then over here on this side, we have our S's and our C's, right? So that way we have let's do this the right way, D, I, S, and C. So, and we've got these two crossbars, right? So there's 4 quadrants. So I'm over here on the S and the C side, right? So I'm over here on this side. So the difference for that is we don't need all the same kind of teaching and training that the D's and the I's do, because I'm always going to clearly communicate because I'm terrified of it going the wrong way, right? I'm always going to nurture. I'm always going to get permission. I'm always going to do these things because of how I'm wired versus how the D's and the I's are wired. So the answer to both of these things is just more practice. but the intention of the practice has got to be different, right? For D's and I's, it's about like, hey, slow down, slow down, slow down. And then for S's and C's, it's much more about exposure therapy, right? Having enough of these conversations so that way you can actually feel comfortable in the moment and do it when there's a little bit of pressure on you. The D's and I's, because of who they are, have just had more conflict-riddled conversations over their life because of just how they just manage to kind of stir shit up around them, right? S's and C's don't do that thing naturally, so they don't have as much experience with that stuff. So they need to have reps of having uncomfortable conversations. That way it's easier to turn and face and do the things we need to do and cut bait when we need to and everything else. What are your thoughts on that?
It's good. So you plan on putting D's and S's across the table from each other and I's and C's and have them help each other out, or what's the idea with it? I love the concept. I think that what happens, right, is I've been in sales training in pretty much weekly since 2014, right? I mean, working with coaches and going to classes and everything else like this. So for that whole time, there was always this stigma of unless you're an ID or a DI, you're not going to be successful in a sales role. Everybody talked about this thing. It was well known. Right. And so then with my coach, we start working together and I'm putting in the work and everything. And he has to go back and kind of change his thought process about S's and C's being salespeople because of the work that I had done. And the only difference between me and everybody else is putting in the reps, right? And so then I started thinking about, okay, is there a different intentionality behind the reps? And we have to do enough reps that we don't care about the outcome, okay? I's and D's have to do enough reps that they actually care about what's going on in the conversation, right? And that's the biggest difference in the intentionality. So when you're going through and you're looking at a sales role and you're like, hey, I'm not really sure where I'm going to be good, take one of these assessments and it'll let you know. Do you need to do enough reps so that way you actually care about the people? Or do you need to do enough reps so that way you can not care about the people? Does that make sense? Yeah. I think that's a cool lead generator is what that is. Just because that's something that's never going to change. It is what it is. And you can give a quick solution and a quick answer and probably even come up with some cool little artwork for each little result because there's only 4. And you can do combos even, so you can make 16 versions of it. But yeah, I think that's a great lead generator because it's like, oh yeah, I learned something about myself and I need to do more reps because I'm not comfortable enough with people, and I knew that, but I guess I see how that makes more sense. And then there's your call to action: need more reps. Here's a safe spot, or something like that. Yeah, I love that.
Awesome. I need to do some more noodling on it, but I need to get it out of my head and talk about it in front of somebody, and you're my BIL. So here we are.
That's right. Yeah, that's great.
So you have school all day. So you're out of pocket until 3:30. Do you have any goals around today as far as that last stretch of time and being more present and available?
I'm going to try and see if I can't volunteer into doing something the last hour. That way my attention is averted.
Nice.
I think that's the best way to start. So there's typically something I can do. I can volunteer to help other kids, or I can, there's little things that I can do. So I'm gonna actually have to look for that today.
Yeah, build yourself a trap, man. Traps make it happen.
That's right.
You know what you should do is you should volunteer to teach a little course around writing and marketing and entrepreneurship for that last little bit of the. Right. That'll force you to be on point.
Yeah, exactly. Do it at the 6th grade, 7th grade level.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, what kind of business do you want to do? I want to sell airplanes. Okay, awesome. Let's talk about it, right? And then you take them through like a whole situation about why do people want paper airplanes, right? How do you communicate to those people, stuff like that. I think that could be really cool. You got to go. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I did. I did hear a TED Talk yesterday that I really liked. It was from an NPR host, and it was 10 ways to make sure that you're communicating well or something like that. But she was really funny, but she had like 10 things you can do. And it's stuff we talk about all the time. But I'll send you the link. It was a fun little TED Talk. They got me thinking about that. The 6th graders, I could teach them how to communicate well, because that applies very much to sales and marketing and entrepreneurship. And if you can communicate well, you can do all those things well.
I went through a sales funnel yesterday for like a coach and am now in their funnel. So I think I might kind of document like what I think works well and works badly and what they can improve upon and stuff like this. But it's for this like flow state idea, right? Like how to get more flow out of your work and stuff like this. And I've been doing some reading around that idea for a while and was looking to do this, but it was very funny because I was going through like the course and then the funnel and stuff like this and qualifying myself, and I had this moment of being like, oh, this guy's not that much different than me and how they run their business. And then I thought about, oh, their books are really good. Okay, wait a minute. So like I had this moment of being like, oh yeah, I'm pretty close to this. And then realizing I'm not anywhere close to that level. So I thought that was funny. Anyway, man, you cannot be late. So let's end today.
All right. I got to roll. So we'll see everybody tomorrow.
All right. See you, Bill. Be safe.
All right. You too.
Bye.